to all of you for including me in today's celebration. I got an invitation from my friend Michael Mostyn, who said to me, "Pierre, do you believe in free speech?" I said, "Of course." He said, "How would you like to give one?" So I'm here today. In fact, it reminded me of an occasion after an event like this when the two of us were having a beverage in a hotel lounge, and the waitress took an interest in this handsome young man, and she was trying to flirt and capture his attention. He was completely oblivious to all of it, and I teased him about it a little bit, and anyway, we ignored it, and we got up to pay the bill, and there was a strange man who came up and started making conversation with us, and told us he wanted to take, he wanted us to come over to his place, and he wanted to tell us some things, and we didn't know if he was a member of a cult or a Green Party or what he was doing. But we said we didn't have time, but we'd take his information, and we wrote Michael wrote his name and number down, and paid the bill, and actually when he paid the bill, he got this big smile from the waitress. She looked up at him, and I thought maybe he left her a big tip, and when we got in the car, I said, "What did you do with that strange man's name and phone number?" And he said, "Come to think of it, I wrote it on the bill." And it turns out that the young lady thought that she had received Michael's name and Michael's phone number on that same bill. So anyway, that might have been a Cupid moment. You might have brought two people together. This is an interesting time of transition in my life. I'm 33 years old, and that means I've now a third of a century old. I'm too far out of my 20s to reach back and touch them. If you come from a Christian family, your parents will tell you at this age that you were Jesus' age, and so you feel completely as an underachiever. And in reality, I'm 1 year older than when Raoul Wallenberg had successfully saved 100,000 lives. And it is incredible to think that he was born in 1912, at a time when the Canadian government had launched a vigorous advertising campaign all across Europe to convince Europeans to come to Canada. They called Canada God's country, and they managed to convince Europeans of all different nationalities that Canada was a land of great plenty. I learned the importance of this reputation that Canada enjoys when I was asked by the Prime Minister to participate in the March of the Living between the Auschwitz and Birkenau camps. Auschwitz being the first and Birkenau being the most prolific concentration and death camps in the entire Holocaust. And in addition to all of the horrors that one witnesses on that tour, the information that I learned that struck me the hardest, that shook me right to my foundations, was to learn that there is a place called Canada in those camps. When the prisoners would enter the camp, the SS would steal all of their valuable belongings, and they would need a place to sort all of those belongings and send them back to the Reich. Somehow, in some way, in this process, either the prisoners or the guards decided to name this building, the place where they sorted all the treasure, after a place that they knew as a land of great treasure. And so they called it Canada. And prison guards would literally torment prisoners by saying to them when they were asked to go work in that building, "You are going to Canada today." And to think of all of the hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions, who literally dreamed of coming to Canada as they were breathing their last breaths in those camps, reminds us every day that we not only must be grateful for the freedom we enjoy in this country, but we must strive ceaselessly, as the great heroes that we have in our audience, like Fred and Michael and the two Davids, we must strive ceaselessly to make ourselves worthy of those lessons. Thank you.